Hi. It's my birthday! Happy birthday to me. I don't have any candles. So yes, it's my birthday. So I'm going to do just a fun tag. The mid-year book freakout tag. I have read 25 books so far this year, which I'm actually feeling pretty good about. I usually aim for 50 as my goal. Last year I read 94, which, yeah, me. I just had a baby, so I'm being very gentle with myself, and 50 is good. Since I'm at 25, I'm exactly halfway there, halfway through the year. I am on track to finish. These are the books that I've read this year. Yeah, let's get into it. First question. Best book you've read so far in 2019? Yeah, I tried really hard to only put one answer for all of these questions. But I think that the best book I've read, it's The Song of Achilles. I just love this book so much. As you know, here's my video here if you haven't seen it. I love it. This is historical fiction told from the perspective of Patroclus, Achilles' best friend and lover in this version. And yeah, it follows them through their lives and is excellent. Madeline Miller is great. Question number 2. Best sequel you've read so far in 2019? I've got a big stack of books. I have a big stack of books down here. A Heart So Fierce and Broken. In one of my book clubs, we have a lot of YA readers and fantasy readers. So for a lot of the year, or I guess it's been more than a year now, we've been reading a lot of YA fantasy. It's like a compromise for everybody. And we're finding a lot that we like. So we read A Curse of Dark and Lonely, the first one, last year. And when this one came out, the follow-up, we had to read it too. And yeah, it was really, really good. These are a Beauty and the Beast retelling. The first one is closer to the original Beauty and the Beast story. And then this one is just kind of a continuation in that world. Yeah, so the first one, if you start the series, is about a prince who has a curse where he turns into a beast. He needs to have somebody fall in love with him, and his captain of the guard has the ability to portal to other worlds, and he kidnaps women and he brings them back. It's problematic, but it ends up working. Whew. The main character has cerebral palsy. That's new and different and really well done. It's good. The second one is even better than the first one, and I really like the first one. Number 3. New release you haven't read yet, but want to. Well, I'm currently reading A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor, which I have talked about plenty. I'm liking it. It's a new release. It's very good. But another one that I really want to read, and I bought, and it's just sitting there waiting for me to pick it up, is The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel. She wrote Station 11, which I love. I've read a few more of her books, and I've liked them, but I haven't loved them. I've heard that this is closer to the Station 11, and that there's maybe some crossover, which is kind of intriguing, and I can't wait to actually get into it. So yeah, it's set in a hotel, and some freaky stuff happens. So she writes a lot of crime, and Station 11 was kind of totally from left field, but holy moly did it work. So yeah. Number 4, the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I have not been very good at keeping up with new releases so far this year, but that's probably because I'm very sleepy all the time. But there's 2 that came to mind. One is called The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. He wrote The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which I loved. And so this is his next book, and I'm excited to see if this is an author that I'm going to like everything he puts out, or if it was just a 7.5 deaths did it for me, and now I can put them away. The synopsis of this book: it's 1634, and Samuel Pepys, the world's greatest detective, is being I love myself a world's greatest detective. Is being transported to Amsterdam to be executed for a crime he may or may not have committed. Traveling with him is his loyal bodyguard, Arden Hayes, who is determined to prove his friend innocent. But no sooner are they out to sea than devilry begins to blight the voyage. A twice-dead leper stalks the decks, strange symbols appear on the sails, livestock is slaughtered. And then 3 passengers are marked for death, including Samuel. Could a demon be responsible for their misfortunes? It's going to be like a mystery on a boat with some sounds like maybe magic or smoke and mirrors. That sounds to me like it'll be good. I'll find out. And another one, I said I was only going to do one, but it's coming out tomorrow, so let me talk about it quick. I read World of Warcraft books because I play World of Warcraft and I love the lore, and don't judge me. I'm so cool. The new World of Warcraft book comes out tomorrow. I've already pre-ordered it on audio, and it is going to be getting us ready for the new expansion that comes out sometime this year. So yeah, it's called Shadows Rising. It's by Madeline Rue, and I'm going to read it. Number 5, the biggest disappointment in my reading this year was Where Are You? I don't have it. I borrowed it, and I'm so glad I didn't buy it. It's My Dark Vanessa. I know the opinions on this book swing wildly one way or the other. Some people love it. I really didn't. And to me, it read like something pedophiles would want to pick up and read and like would give them a thrill. But it took the subject matter. Oh, you know what? Why don't I tell you what the book's about? So, My Dark Vanessa follows Vanessa from when she was a child to when she is an adult, when she goes to a boarding school and she starts a romance with her teacher. You see the problem, right? She's very young. She's like 13, 14, I think, in the book. And they have this relationship on and off, and you can see as the reader, who's not the child in the situation, the abuse that's happening and the manipulation, and it's disgusting. And I think it almost paints the teacher in too generous a light. I didn't like it. It felt gross. It wasn't a bad book. It was written well. The subject that it covered really accurately, but it's not something that I would want to choose to read. I thought that I was going to like it a lot better because I thought it was going to deal more with her as she was older. So I thought there was going to be more of like a feminist thing to it, but we spent a lot of time with her as a teenager, which was gross and sad. Number 6, the biggest surprise for me this year was I read, it's another World of Warcraft book, War Crimes. I didn't know what to think going in because it's a Warcraft universe courtroom drama. And I thought this is going to be stupid and ridiculous. And it was. But it was also great. I listened to it on audio, and so you're set in, it's the Horde and the Alliance, and they are both presenting their cases against Grosh Hellscream, who's the war chief of the Horde. If you don't know Warcraft lore, just bear with me for a second. The Bronze Dragonflight, they are like the timekeepers, and you know how I feel about time. They had an hourglass made where whoever was the defendant or the prosecutor could summon up memories that everybody could see, and they would be accurate representations, so they didn't have to go by people's word. They could use their limited amount of sand to present the jury with actual footage from what happened. and it ended up being really, really good. Hi, Future Editing Shanna here. I just learned that I lost a whole bunch of footage, so that sucks. Look how cute she is. Look how cute she is. Hi. Hello. Hi. So, yeah, I'm going to be re-recording a couple of the questions. Yeah, so, and then we'll go back to past Shanna. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. So it was right after I was talking about, or during while I was talking about Shadow Rising, the World of Warcraft book. Number 7 was favorite new author, and that's Terry Pratchett. He's new to me, definitely not a new author, but I have been absolutely loving him. I am working my way through Discworld, and I love it, love it, love it. He's brilliant, and it's such a fun place to be with the craziness of 2020 and having a toddler and a new baby. I just need that perfect escape, and that's exactly what Discworld is. Number 8, my newest fictional crush. I have 2, but they are from the same book, so it's barely even cheating. They're both from A Heart So Fierce and Broken. Number 1 is Gray. He's the captain of the guard I was talking about. He's just dreamy and really talented and smart and loyal. He's great. Also, I am in love with Leah Mara. She is one of 2 princesses for the rival country. The mother approves of Leah Mara less than the other daughter. But Leah Mara is strong and brave and smart, and she is kind, and she is so good. She is committed to doing whatever it takes to be good to her people, and I love her. Those are my 2 new crushes. Number 9, my newest favorite character. Once again, I'm cheating with 2, but they're from the same books, so I've decided that's not cheating. Number 1, the luggage. The luggage is just the best. It is a trunk on 100 tiny little legs, and it is an attack luggage. It will eat people, and it is just fiercely protective of whoever its owner is. It will follow them to the ends of the earth through any obstacle. Throughout the books, they always say that the luggage is making different expressions, even though it's luggage, so it doesn't have a face. But it's got so much personality that it just shines through. And it's magic, so you put like your dirty laundry in, and then clean, fresh folded laundry comes out. It eats somebody, and who knows where they went. Then the other one, also from the Discworld books, is the librarian. The librarian was in the library when a great big magic thing happened, and he got turned into an orangutan. After, when they said, "Hey, buddy, you want to be a person again?" He was like, "Ook." He didn't. He just wanted to stay an orangutan, and he's very happy that way. And he's still the librarian at the Unseen University. And he speaks in ooks and eats bananas, and everybody understands what he's talking about. It's gold. Book that made me cry. This is weird, but it was Dear Girls by Ali Wong. I was super pregnant when I was listening to this one, so that may have had something to do with it. It is Ali Wong, the comedian, writing letters to her daughters for in the future. And it's a really raw, uncensored look at her life and where she's from and her marriage. And what made me cry was at the end, her husband does like an afterword, and he was so sweet. It broke me. I cried. I didn't cry like super hard, but I cried enough to remember that I cried. So the book that made me happy is The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. It's right there. That was one of my favorite books this year. After I had my daughter, I was in a bit of a rut. I just had a baby, so reading wasn't top priority. But this was the first one that I picked up that I was like, cool, I'm loving this, and I wanted to sit down and I wanted to read, and I was really into it. So it just gave me some of that reading mojo back. It made me feel really happy. After this point, I have footage. I swear to God, I better have footage. This ticked a lot of boxes for me. It had Agatha Christie vibes all over it, and I am a huge Agatha Christie fan. It had the gothic, dark vibes and the old spooky mansion, castle, house vibes like from Rebecca, which is one of my favorite books of all time and my favorite classic. Maybe I shouldn't say my favorite. It is one of my favorite classics. It also dealt with like crazy time stuff. So yeah, just kind of across the board, it was right for me. The most beautiful book I've bought so far this year or received. I don't have it with me. So the 10,000 Doors of January was gifted to me by my sister, and it's beautiful. I lent it out, so I don't have it with me right now, but look at that cover. It's gorgeous. And the last question, number 13. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? So it said books, so I'm allowed to say more than one. I was given this for Christmas, and I still haven't read it, but I want to. It's in like mass market now. It's taken me so long. But Killing Commendador, maybe that's how you say it. I don't know. But it's Haruki Murakami. He is one of my favorite authors. This one, my sister also gave me for Christmas. Does that not count? Whatever, I'm keeping it. So, this one. And then Priory of the Orange Tree is one that I really want to read, and it's also got a beautiful cover. This one was from my mom, and so the reason I haven't read these ones yet is look at them. Look at these giant books. I want to read them, but these big giant books take up so much time, and it's so hard with the little ones to keep this momentum that reading the shorter books keeps me picking them up and keeps me going, and it gives me that bit of accomplishment. So I really, really want to read these. I haven't gotten around to them yet, but I will. But I'm not done. I want to start the Wheel of Time series, but once again, each book is massive. And I am not against massive books. I love massive books. Game of Thrones is one of my favorite series. I like Stephen King a lot. That man doesn't know how to write less than 1,000 pages. But once again, it's just such a commitment that I haven't felt in my heart ready. But I think I want to read them this year. I also am really wanting to read more of the Red Rising series. I have read the original trilogy, but there's like 3 more out now, and so I'm behind. I really want to get to those at some point this year. I really want to read the First Law trilogy. It's a grim dark, which I'm totally into, but when I got this originally and was going to start, I just had a baby, and it was a little too gruesome for me at the time. So hopefully I am far enough away from that now that I can start these. I bought this one today, and it's just a little guy, so I'll probably read that pretty much immediately. That's I'm thinking of ending things. I'm not, but that's what this one's called. And then lastly, House of Leaves. I have owned this forever and I want to read it. But look at this. Relatively normal pages. And then it starts getting really weird. It's about a family who... Okay, no, it's layered. There's a guy who goes to another guy. This guy's insane. He takes all of these bits of paper. I should say bits of paper. Stacks of paper. The whole place is paper. And he starts to read it and put together the story. And it's the story within the story, which is of this family who moves into a house which keeps getting bigger on the inside. So this is what it starts doing. There are some pages where you need to read it in a mirror. There are pages where you have to turn, see, then there's like this. There are pages where you have to turn the book upside down and flip around. And it's supposed to be absolutely incredible. But once again, it's a huge, oh, that was an interesting one. It's a huge time commitment to read this one, and it's interactive is probably the wrong word, but it's, you know, very involved, and I want to make it an October read, but I worry that this is the only book I'll read in October. But maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I will devote October to House of Leaves and really getting this thing read. So there we go. Happy birthday, me. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what your favorite reads were. Answer some of these questions for me down below. I will put in the description all of the questions because I would love to know some of your answers. How are you doing on your reading goals this year? Let me know. Like the video, subscribe. It's my birthday, so that's what I would like. Thanks. And ring the little bell if you want notifications when I upload. I upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday. See you